Welcome back, chat, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. We are at the halfway mark for our semifinals of the European portion of the competition. I'm your host, Hello Kelly Link, and joining me calling all of the action, it's Sancho West and Shio Wager. Shio, good games going on so far. Is there a player that's really sticking out to you in these games, though?
Thomas HD, Mr. High Definition himself, or whatever the HD really does stand for. For me, the name stands for big snipes, though, and just hot shots all the way across the map.
Yeah, I mean, Sancho, same thing for you. Is there someone that's really been impressing you here throughout the game so far?
I got to piggyback. I mean, I know it's the easy thing to do as a caster, but it's Thomas. I mean, the guy was laying down some hunting rifle shots from like 150 plus meters, and he's doing it in one of the stack lobbies that we had here today. And he was able to survive, and he fought toe to toe with a lot of people. And that's why he finished 27th in the North American East region on a different ping, and he's on his own ping. He's going to be a very, very dangerous player continuing on for the rest of the day. If he advances to grand finals, which he should.
Well, with that being said, let's see if Thomas is in our top 20 right now as we check our top 20 leaderboard for the semifinals here in Europe. In first place, it's going to be Andalex with 269 points. We do have Mongrel right behind him, though, in second place. Actually, I say right behind him, but he's actually 37 points below him. So he's got some catching up to do there. Squeezier is going to be in third. Miro is going to be in fourth. And then we have Leo in fifth. But hey, we got Teak up there. We got Toos. We got Trulex. We got a bunch of big names in our top 20.
It was great to see, Wakey, who just won the last game on the broadcast, was able to vault himself into the top 20. Teak, as you said, Kelly's making moves up it, but it's, Mongrel, I would say, is the story right now, because we did see in the replay that he was able to finish second, and he's placing very well. And that is going to be a player that's going to be very dangerous once he gets inside the grand finals. Somebody as well that's trying to get that signature win to let everybody know that, hey, yeah, we know Coop is the hotness right now, but Mongrel, I'm the one that's been around forever. I'm the one that's going to put you on 1 HP, and I'm the one that's going to win today's DreamHack Open.
Out of the three games that Mongrel has played, he's placed first, second, and third. So yeah, if there's any player that we need to watch out for, it's definitely going to be Mongrel, chat. But that's enough for this portion of the show, everyone. I know you want to jump back into the action, so let's do that right now. And I'm going to see you guys after the game.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelly, as she phases away towards the side. Very nice there. Segue towards the game. DreamHack Open semifinals are always fun to watch on the desk and also fun to cast, because now they're getting ramped up. We're seeing big names stacked side by side towards these end game lobbies. How does it look off spawn, though?
That is a good one. I mean, we saw a lot of action, like 9 people fell right off the rip here. So that's going to be something to look out for as we're watching Kiro and Rotary making their way down into the map. And it looks like Kiro is going to make his way to caddy corners, and Rotary as well. And this is the most interesting thing, a factor here. As we did point out at the very beginning of the broadcast, we always like to draw caddy corner and authority. And the reason why is because we saw, Wakey had it, but you don't necessarily have to land here to get it. You could scout out for it. You could see who has it in game, but there's so many people here now, Shio, as the competition is getting into the later stages of the semifinals, as Kiro gets a nice takedown on takedown, and Kha'Zix is here. Oh my goodness. Oh, what now?
No way.
Oh, way.
Again?
Oh man.
3 different games with Kha'Zix just being completely taken out with, I think, 0 points in these lobbies. So I'm worried to see if he's even going to be able to make grand finals from this position. I have to say absolutely not, but he surprised us before. Let's see if he can just touch it up again. There's like what, 10 people almost here at caddy right now. This is nuts. This looks like an absolute arena lobby, more so than a European semifinals.
Yeah, and Rotary now, 50-50s are being dished out everywhere. It's a lot of players. Again, the power of the mythical weapon, the call of the mythical weapon. I think Brain Dead now is trying to escape. Arcus is trying to get out of the way, but I think he did get eliminated right there, but the cleanup from Turned Up. So Turned Up is starting to be in a very nice spot to turn up the rest of the lobby now that he was able to get Kick's Shockwave Launcher. Let's see if he does have it. But look, Patty Box U is pushing it. So now it's going to be so interesting here, Shio. Like, who decides to kind of wait it out and wait patiently for the person to come back with all that great kit and as well as the vault card? because the vault card has not been open yet.
This is just tough, though. Even the third-party spots are having more people than usual contest there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what type of lobby point size this one is, because Rotary is at 75 points at the moment, but it might be in a spot where people are getting desperate. Could be an updated lobby 100%, but with people who are way far away in terms of points and are looking for the best chance to win, and that statistically is that shockwave launcher.
And the bus as well. The bus kind of like favored that as, oh, there it is, the vault card. That is such a big pickup for Rotary. Rotary finding that vault card. He's going to have the ability to get the guaranteed launch pad, but he does have to work through two different players in Raccoon. And now we're going off to another POI that is very close by. That's Lazy Lake. And I think you might be right, Shio. This will be the back of the pack players who are trying to get their way in, but these still are very strong players considering it is the 1500. And the 1500 players are trying to buy their way in for 100. It's not as tough as the I would say FNCS solos are pretty tough, considering it is the top 25 per the quals to go through into the next round. But still, going down from 1500 to 100, that's a lot. And speaking of someone that is a big lot in the scene, that's Benji Fishy, who is known to now land at the Slurp Factory. And look at that, the respect paid, has it all to himself. He gets to take his time, Shio, and vibe out here at the Slurp Factory.
Yeah, at one point he was contested. I forget the specific player's name in the FNCS. I think it might have been Kiriachi that he was fighting, and then unfortunately they kept having off-spawn confrontations, and none of these guys got to have their status in those grand finals really shown. This time, though, with Benji, it's going to be nice to see how he plays when he's uncontested. Haven't seen a perspective from him just yet. We know that he's won games, but he is in this one. Nate is here too. Going to be fighting Justina and a bunch of people at the same time. He's going to be looking fine. I think Slayer might be there on top, yup, to make this a three-way confrontation. Should be pretty easy for Nate to pick up, but he does get beamed down, so a little bit of trouble there for him. There are over water. Fall damage will not be that much of a thing unless some person makes mistakes building. Yassine in a very nice spot, actually has the attack ready too. Nate not only gets shot by Yassine, but after that, I think this next player here too, Slayer, who drops down with a shot. He does not get to get the elimination though. And now this is just kind of, this is messy. Messy but needed, because a lot of these players are at 64 points. They're not really there for the top 100. They're way far behind and need literally winning games to be able to come back. If not them, then just high elimination point games. That's what Slayer's doing. This 2 is there too. I mean, all around the map, if it's not Caddy Corner, if it's not Misty Meadows, I guarantee everywhere else too, it just has so many messy fights. 69 people already left alive.
And Tisso is now escaping that fight with the Shark in tow, chasing. Shark's trying to get some third-party action. The Shark hasn't been on the board yet, as we did see the Marauders pick up 5 points. Hopefully the Shark can pick up some points. But yeah, I think we're in that kind of lobby where everyone's trying to do all that they can, play a little bit outside of themselves. But we cannot forget that Benji's in this lobby. And Benji does have something to prove, considering he had a 59th finish in the FNCS solos. And he did have a dominating qualifying and open heats round. So Benji is a mythical legend in himself, dangerous player. But Rotary, who found himself the vault card, is now playing deep inside of it, and he's going up against It's James. So now we got a battle of that loot. And being stuck in there, Rotary is going to have a tough situation. He could not really build in there as much. But Patty is hearing this action, and Patty is going to be able to sneak up in. And we've been seeing, the ambush plays, and I think Rotary does go down to It's James. I did see something, or maybe somebody went down. Let's see what happens. As no, Rotary's still up, and he's pinned down in this corner.
Pinned down right now. We'll see if he can possibly get out. This is a trap being laid down by Patty. Rotary can't escape. James is dropping that heat. He's getting dwindled down on materials. Are those Rotaries? Yeah, they are. Rotaries decoys are going to be coming through. He might be able to just walk out or just have a little bit of a distraction. Once that happens, though, Patty gets activated and Rotary gets taken out in the 2-piece for Patty. Oh my goodness.
Patty, you're making me spit up my water, bro. That was a very clever 2-piece. You were able to walk away with not only all of that vault loot, but you got yourself 10 points for being patient. And that's a big time considering where he's at on the leaderboards. And so now we're on board with Hacks Pyros. And he's going to have an issue if he stays around here long and the circle pulls north, which is sort of is. You're going to have the likes of, like, I always feel like the rotations it comes down to are like a big wedge on a pie, you know? And this wedge right now is, it's going to run into someone like a Benji Fishy, because if he's going to make a rotation through here, granted, it's going to be more of a dead side rotation, but you could run into a Benji Fishy. And you do have to be able to see the elimination feed. And you'll be able to see that, hey, Benji's in my lobby. And we did have a talk. I forgot what was his name. Oh my goodness! But he was talking about how he used to be so afraid of. Oh, nice ambush! He used to be so afraid of. Yeah, X-Splash. Thank you, X-Splash. And we had an interview. It was a great interview. He talked about he was always afraid of seeing big names in his lobby, and sometimes that could be a factor. As big names like Eclipse, Mongrel, and Benji, if you see them in your lobby, you kind of not be afraid. And he said he was able to get over that hump and not be afraid. But Eclipse now has to be afraid for his run right now in this lobby. As he's set down to the whites, he's going to have to crank up a little bit, switch the layer to get away, switch the hard mats. But this player is not letting up, as Eclipse now is on the back foot. And this player is not afraid of Eclipse's name, and he takes him down.
Geds beams him right out, 166 points. He's looking pretty, I think, on pace for this competition. Might be a little bit behind when it comes to being top 100. I want to get kind of an update as to what that is looking like. We tuned in a few games ago. It was around 123, 130 points, but it always gets steamed up. Even if someone in chat knows, that'd be great to see. Regardless, though, Robon, believe this man was one of those squads winners. If it's the same Robon I'm thinking of. If my brain is working today, I hope it is. Haven't seen much from him personally when it comes to spotlight moments. I know we think about Europe. We always think about Benji, Mongrel, and whatnot taking the spotlight. Savage winning one of the DreamHacks. Teak winning one of the DreamHacks. We have people like Tayson and Janice winning out FNCSs and DreamHacks. I want to see what Robon has left in the tank. Past squads, past team modes. Waffle are getting taken out. And at least from decision making, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I want to see that roll. I want to see that update.
Looking right now, queues are closing an hour. 100 place is currently at 173 points. Projections right now to being 275 to 285. And this is what I'm talking about. The wedge, as Benji's Fishy is going to make this rotation in. He's going to go right into that area that we saw the other player a little bit ago. And Devin now has to deal with Benji Fishy, but he does have the natural high ground. And Benji, knowing that he could use up all this wood resources, but he has to be careful. The reason why you like to land at Slurp Factory is that you have the ability to kind of use all those little canisters. You can break all those kegs and whatnot to be able to hold on to valuable shields. And Benji now goes right on the attack and says, Devin, do you know who I am? Now you know, because now you see my name on the left side and your name on the right side, and I'm going to send you right out of my lobby. And Benji now has 184 points, and now he's going to set himself up to get closer and closer to qualifying, or that guaranteed qualification right now, which is sitting at beyond 173.
It's nice to see, too, that the whole lobby knows and might be playing slightly more afraid. This is kind of the difference, though. We have people like Benji who are right now on pace in the top 100, and then people like Danilo and everyone else who are just trying to catch by. He has the tack shots here, box to box, doesn't actually choose to land it, just switches over to that AR and gets a few down. Realize, though, that you might be thinking, isn't this supposed to be an updated game? Where all the people with 100 points, where all the people who are looking so good? The top 100 right now will be close to that 170 threshold. The majority, the people, top 1,500 will be at points like 78, like 60. I believe Danilo's fighting Forrest right now, and Forrest might be in a very similar position, pushing boxes with maybe even 50 points, 60 points. Not everyone can be at that top caliber. It's very difficult to not only catch up, but have a good start like that and play through it. We're only about really halfway through the competition for semifinals today. Danilo is playing well. He's just not in there for that top 100 spot. He's getting close, though, if he keeps getting eliminations like this back-to-back. Lecce is slightly behind with one elimination, but if he wins out on this one, this game is going to be looking really, really good for him. He needs to just back up here, switch the layers. There we go. Pop those shields. The player expects it, but wow, the movement from Lecce, that is slick. And now this is a game where he can really catch up and sit in that top 100.
Talking about the leaderboards and points, I mean, all these players are sharing the same resources. All these 1,500 players and elims and placement points are that shared resources. And if the big names and the players that are popping off are taking all those points, then you are going to have the players around the 60s and 70s. You are going to have the players like Lechi's who are sitting at 150. And we did take a look here. We got a nice replay. Is Zeke picking up 8 elims here in a victory royale. So yeah, the more players that picked up victory royales and close to double-digit elims, they're the players that are going to be in the 150s and 170s and 180s. And that is the beauty of the semifinals, and that is what you have to work with. They're a lot tougher than opens, of course, but you have to consider that as Chinkin is in this lobby as well. So we have big names as well getting up in this lobby. Lechi, Benji, Chinkin, and Danilo here trying to defend himself. Did not have an opportunity to pop off minis. This is going to be an edge fight, as we do see the third party looking in, and we have some, I believe, some marauders on the bottom. I don't know, not sure, but it looks like it's actually it is. It's 3 people here on the fight. Danilo, even though he picked up a nice elimination here, he's gonna have to be careful. I doubt he wants to leave. No doubt he cannot use the launch pad at this level of competition because they're not going to let him get away. But now he has the high ground control, looking down, going to use the charged shotgun, going to see if that person's going to try to make a peek. Does get some return fire on the tac shotgun, and Danilo now is expending so many hard mats in this fight to trying to stay alive. Because regardless, right now, Shayo, we're dishing out placement points. So Danilo has to know that in the back of his mind, and he has to stay alive to keep accruing points.
He can stay alive and still deal damage down. Every elimination will be backed by some padding of placement, so the points will get higher, higher, and higher. He can literally let that placement come by faster.
It was Marauders. There's the music. So there were Marauders down below. It wasn't a third party, but I was noticing that the arrows were white, and that's usually the sign of Marauders. And it looks like someone is being hot pursuit by Marauders down by the river right there, as we're on board here with Benji on the bridge right near the big waterfall. Looking great. You can see that he has his loop path down. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He's almost at full mats. He's going ahead and recycle this entire air. It's a very dominant position because it's basically its own little mountaintop, considering that this whole valley down below from the river. So he's going to be looking very, very strong right now as we're taking another insight into what's happening around NRG's fusion with the ambush play on Meta Prey. We're seeing the strong ambush plays throughout the entire day today. It's been an adoptive strategy. And if you want to up your game and maybe make someone upset, then use yourself that ambush play. But now we're seeing, Shayo, people are now jockeying for positioning. They're the mountains in play. This is going to be a very, very interesting circle as time goes on, as we're about to get into our 4th one. Right now, the lobby is kind of got dwaned out. We talked about the people that had the 40s and 50s. Most likely, they're fighting a lot earlier. They're trying to be very ultra aggressive, as we've been seeing in these matches. And then you have the other side of the coin, where the people in the high placements are doing their best to retain their spot on their leaderboard.
Yeah, those high placementers, those high pointers, they're there for a reason. And there's a reason these guys are 50s. Maybe they're losing too many fights over and over again. Those high pointers could be the ones not even playing passive, going for those big shots and actually winning against them. There is a wall over there. Boone makes his own edit too and tries to find another. Replaces that wooden wall with one that's metal. Still 0 elims so far, 0 points. He's looking from another angle to try to get a shot down. There's Bills all the way in the way. It's getting messy. From top down, though, is where he has the most control, landing 2 shots back to back on Greek. Or Grek now has to move a little bit further back. Voon, though, has a crash pad to get there diagonally. Push through 3 different boxes with 1 item. It's so powerful. Picks that elim up, and now we're tuning back in with Danilo on his side of the map. Softer game, you mentioned it, Sancho, 100%. But the end game, I feel like, will start to get a little bit more sticky. It will be the same thing we're used to watching.
Danilo needs a big game to get back into it. Needs around to shoot for 80 points or so, and this aggression play right now is going to help him do that. But now the rest of the lobby is focusing in as fights are getting tighter and tighter. But Danilo is showing out right now, and he's well on his way to track for that 80-point game. Definitely the victory royale would help him, but as long as he places in that end game very well, as you're seeing everyone jockeying for position. Leo is in this game. Snazzy is in this game. Vaptor is in this game, and Chinkin as well, that we saw earlier at the Authority, is still in this game. So as the players that are on the back end of the leaderboard get phased out, if they get eliminated, you're going to see the rest of the stack lobby form. It may form a little late into the game, but regardless, it's going to still here. Now, as the zone is going to move in, you're going to see a lot of players like Benji, no doubt, hold on tight. Hopefully, no one gets him out of his position as he still is over there. Lecce still in the distance. Patty, who picked up the 2-piece from Caddy, is right over here. Wow, you see how I did that? Man, this is going to be a good game, Shia. I'm feeling it.
This is going to be a nice one that ramps up, but I feel like it might be going a little bit too fast. A little bit too fast with the players in this lobby. Already 43, 5 people going down on this rotation. Judging by this side of the map, too, it being natural low ground, maybe this game even ends up finishing out somewhere close to that 8th zone. The way we have these certain types of dictators all the way through this lobby, or just diving into boxes and winning fights. I think there's just an insane amount of people who have already 4 to 5 elims, Danilo being one of them.
No, it's just all about making sure that you're getting it right now. 182 points is the threshold. But of course, as time goes on, it goes up and up. The waters rise. And right now, the pressure rises. And now the pressure is going to be on for Danilo as he's going to make a full rotation now that the circle pulled for so far. He does have a pad in his back pocket. Danilo sees that Red Wings did get knocked down. Wow, what a nice awareness from Danilo. Seeing that the shield was cracked, he heard the noise and immediately went on the offensive and intelligently retreats back into his box. But I no doubt he's going to want to keep his pad. He knows that there's a pad out there on his left side. Taking a look at the rest of the lobby, we have Ratoy here. Ratoy on the same situation. He's sitting a lot better. Now he's going to be able to looking on the inside out, looking for players like Nipsey, who is on the shamble route to try to get into the circle. As you can see, there's only a few players outside in. So now those players are going to be very, very in trouble as the whole lobby is now focused. Nipsey is making his way through. Shields is way out in no man's land in trouble as the whole lobby's now focusing on that. But Retoy has to focus in his own box, uses his own crash pad to get away. And wow, that was so close. That was almost yikes for him. And you have to be careful with that, right? You can't tunnel in and focus on people on the outside sometimes, because the people on the inside are going to be looking for opportunities. And RIP, later Shields, the whole focus chose you and sent you right back out of the lobby. That's what happens when you rotate late. And that's what happens on the lighter side of these lobbies. They have the ability to focus all together on someone who's on the outside.
Yeah, big eliminators though on this. We're just in this lobby in general. Serenity swaps. Big 10 plus Elam wins today and yesterday. Benji Fishy's here too. Snazy used to being able to play these types of lobbies. Is all the way on that bottom or the left side of your screen too on the bottom low ground. Vaptar is here once again. He survives still that top 15 each time we see him in a game. So once again, 39 person end game. We'll see exactly how it moves. Lecce is in this game too. 2 eliminations. It's about to start rattling up. Big things right now is just focusing on who's actually crash padding, who's sitting in front of that zone. All the positions right now don't matter as much. They're just going to be used as bases to where people want to end up going. Lecce is shooting right now, but at the same time gets shot and doesn't get to even see the end game. That is so tragic. Retoy, who got pushed in that position, made the most out of it and now has the loadout of one of the most aggressive people on the lobby. He's getting pushed down though. Alexton, keep that burst AR, but what a way to just go out from Lecce.
Went from Lecce down to Benji. Benji now making his rotation. He's going to go to the front side. No doubt going to find himself on that upper layer right there. Now there it is. Turning and burning, looking back, trying to look for some tags right now. Looking pretty decent and everything else. Leo flying in. We did see Leo. Leo had a great game on the broadcast. Let's see how Leo does. He's someone that's way ahead of Benji with 237 points. Finding his own layer. Back to Benji. Benji picks up Nipsey. 5 points right there. Can Benji start going? Can this be the signature game for Benji to put it all together, to get him into that top 20, to see him more higher up on that leaderboard here, Shio?
Let's see how it works. Benji is on low ground. The entire lobby is just way too active at the same time. Going to be very tricky for people to be able to survive. Leo, though, gets one of those picks onto Larry. Narok's going down to Baptar, who is still alive. Leo is looking for things to do on his own. Snazy's picking up his own type of elimination all the way up inside the feed. Leo's shielding up. We now see a wide shot on the left side of your screen. Chink and Divine, Retoy, a bunch of people on the bottom side of zone 2. Benji is somewhere in the fray. We're watching him right now with his own metal builds, his own metal tarps. He has a lot of mats to work with and sight lines for beams, but he's going to focus on those rotations. Arnie's all the way up top on the high ground. Leo is still raining down beams onto Chink, and he's in a lot of trouble. Snazy's moving up slowly as Vaptar fights Ecstasy all the way up top. 4 height. Vaptar's extending out. Ecstasy is in a box fight. Benji, though, is making sure Next to Rock or Next is not going to be able to push up inside the storm, inside the safe zone. He is in a very good spot. The Sentinel, I think, for this entire lobby. He's not letting anyone really move through at all. Chinkin is once again getting pressured. What a tough spot to be able to get out of. And suddenly 2 people on Benji's box. He's going for shots. He has control of all these edits. He might go for a double here. There it is. Split him. There's a chance to survive. Benji actually gets his elimination stolen, but it's on to Next once again. He let him survive, and Next deals it out. Benji has to now have a little bit of an uphill battle getting back into the zone.
Luckily, he did find the flop that's going to be able to help Benji out. Benji's been making a strong outside rotation here. Nice layer chains to get off the floor, considering that the low ground is really congested. Danilo is still in this fight, as we did see him right there, but now all eyes on Benji to go on ahead and rack up the points. He does pick up a placement, gets a nice edit right there, and down goes Flash. That's a 5-pointer from Benji. He's going to dip and tide to get some more loot. Now he's going to hit from the backside. He's going to have a moment to breathe, and he's going to protect himself. He's got to pop a nice one. He's trying to pop the mini, but now he's going to decide to go for the siphon. And that decision cost him right there, but a nice run. And now we're embarking to Leo. Leo with another elimination on the low ground. I think Leo has set himself up very strongly here as Vaptar's on the high. Leo has the flops and he has the gun skill. And Leo has an opportunity to close this out, but he does not have the build style. That's going to be a big factor here. Can Leo find himself the refresher? Danilo is still in this fight on the mid ground. Tiz2 is on the height, but Danilo, who has the opportunity to put a big time game here, needs it right now and more than ever. But Leo takes out Danilo. Down goes Danilo, and now Leo doesn't need builds as much because he has the grappler. What a great gun run for Leo. Back-to-back performances, and now we're in a 1v1 situation, Shio.
Things have quieted down between Tiz2 and Leo. A lot of different shockwave shots being shot down, but Leo's blocking every single one. He does not have the mats to be able to play past that grappler. He has the floppers though, but no protection to actually pop them. Leo looking now with 5 eliminations to wrap these things out. 1v1 left alive, does not have the builds to actually ramp up and go through, but a parkour course. He gets into a safe spot. Tiz2 cannot find him. He is not being ticked yet though. Leo has a little bit more HP in the beam there too. Tiz2 lands just a little bit of a shot. It's not enough, and Leo will win out that game. Good position, good game entirely from early, mid to end. Nice win for Leo.
Leo with the hardcore parkour into the flop, getting himself the victory royale. Leo has been shining out. We're going to take a look at the leaderboard to see who else has the shine. We'll be right back after this.